Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel.
And I'm Spencer from GameNerdz.
That's right, and Spencer's here to join us on a monthly basis where we talk about the best-selling games from the prior month. In this case, it happens to be July 2023. So, this is pre-Lorcana insanity. Although Lorcana is a whole different beast anyway. It wouldn't be ranked in these because it's not really a board game, it's a collectible card game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming it's not ranked in these.
No, but it is interesting to see how the lead up to Gen Con impacted some of these numbers, just like the hype of like the Gen Con preview on BGG. And then, of course, it'll be interesting to see after we get into August what kind of impact the buzz of the games at Gen Con had on these numbers as well.
Yeah, I am very curious about that myself. So, with that being said, let's jump into the expansions.
All right, top 5 expansions. So overall, the list, there are a few new things, but there are, of course, some that we've seen previously that are kind of dancing around. So number 5 is new to the list, and this is a Spirit Island expansion. This is Spirit Island Feather and Flame. This gathers promo packs 1 and 2, which is basically just adding some new spirits, but I was surprised to see this one on the list.
I'm not surprised. I think Spirit Island does considerably well these days. People keep playing it. I mean, last month we had Nature Incarnate on the list at number 4.
So maybe that has kind of sparked some renewed interest in the game.
Yeah, we'll have to see. All right, cool.
All right. Number 4 is another new addition to the list. I believe it's because it's a new addition, new listing to the website, and that is the Cascadia Landmarks expansion.
Ah, yes. That's something people are pretty pumped about. Interestingly, because I figure a lot of people who play Cascadia aren't necessarily looking for an expansion. Mm-hmm. You know, it has almost like a mass market vibe to it, just easy to play. But I don't even know what's in the expansion, so...
So it says here, sprawling habitats and beautiful landmarks out on wherever you're building stuff. Each landmark gives environment its own look and feel, while also providing dynamic end-game scoring bonuses. And then also letting you play with 5 to 6 players, so adding the capacity for players. So,
all right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm just thinking about how that's going to... Okay, cool. I wonder how easy it will be to integrate, but probably pretty easy.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It's just, just the end game bonuses shouldn't be that difficult. And then I'll be interested to see how, if people do take advantage of adding to the 5 or 6 players, how that impacts game length. But yeah, I imagine with the popularity of the game, you being an award winner, this is probably going to be on the list for a couple months at least. Okay.
All right, what do we got for number 3?
Number 3, we have a repeat. This is Spirit Island Nature Incarnate. So we have 2 Spirit Island expansions on the top 5 for July. And this is a pre-order.
Still crazy to me how popular this... I mean, this is not like a new game or anything.
Right.
When did Spirit Island come out now? It is 2017. This is 6 years old now.
Yeah. But yeah, they keep pumping out these additional spirits. I mean, I imagine that adds a ton of replayability. I still have never played the game, so I wouldn't know, but I know it's very highly regarded.
I wonder now if the next 2 here are the same 2 as last time.
You could probably put money on it.
I would put money on it because, well, let's go ahead and say number 2.
All right. Number 2, we did have a little do-si-do here. Number 2 is Arc Nova. Marine Worlds. Okay.
Well, that's not out yet. That's supposed to come out in a few months.
Yeah.
I know people are pumped about it, but the other one, number 1, came out at Gen Con.
Yep. So that's the Lost Ruins of Arnak, the Missing Expedition, which I got a little overview of it at Gen Con, and it just seems so cool. The way that they've created this solo campaign with different objectives instead of just trying to get a certain score, and all the new additions. I know I'm really excited about it.
See, I'm actually less excited about it now that I've seen. Well, because I like Lost Ruins of Arnak. It's a fun game. I just don't need to play it as a campaign. And that's a good chunk of this expansion.
Yeah, it is. But what was interesting to me is that, I felt like where there's previously a solo mode, you're still playing like a full-blown game of Lost Ruins. This kind of, because of the way the objectives are, they make it possible to play a couple of sessions in one sitting, or at least what it sounds, maybe an hour or so per thing. So it's easier to leave out on your table and play through instead of every time you bring it out all by yourself, and it can be cooperative. That was the selling point for me, was like, hey, I could play through 2 or 3 of these things in one go and not have to worry about setting it up every single time.
All right, well, folks, that's the top 5 expansions. Now let's get to the top 10 games, and I'm going to guess that there's some shakeups here.
There are. That was a good guess, including 3, right off the bat, brand new additions to the list. Number 10, Mr. President, the American Presidency, 2001 to 2020.
Now, this game is out now. Is this?
Yes.
This is a solo game, I believe, isn't it?
That's correct. This is a solo game by GMT, and it's a solitaire game about governing as the President of the United States. It's not an election game. It begins after you've been elected, so managing the country, basically.
I have to give this one a whirl, but I'm very intrigued by this one.
Yeah.
I wonder why I would play this, though, over... I would love to play a computer simulation where I was the president and you have to deal with stuff and hopefully keep the world around alive.
It's very interesting what kind of things they have there to, how to react to, so I'd be interested to see it as well. All right, moving on to number 9. Number 9 was a big, popular game at Gen Con, and that is 3 Ring Circus, the pre-order for this.
From DeVere.
That's correct.
Yeah, 3 Ring Circus is very popular. In fact, our review of it's going up this week, or actually, when you saw it, our review's up. You can go see what we think of it. Really cool little circus tents, wooden circus tents. It's about being a circus in the wake of the massive Barnum and Bailey, and you have to go to smaller towns because they're kind of taking all the big stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, they've done a cool thing too, where they recognize that we kind of romanticize how animals were as part of the circus. We kind of forget that there was really horrible treatment to them, and so they've included, or I think it's a separate add-on maybe, of a deck of cards, and instead of using animals, you can use these little automaton robot kind of things. So I thought that was neat to give people that option to swap those out.
Oh, I have not heard of that.
Okay. That's over here somewhere. All right. So moving on to number 8 is another brand new game that may not be available yet, and that is Sea Salt and Paper from Pandasaurus.
This small little game that's getting a lot of buzz. The original printing got, a lot of people were enjoying that, but now that the Pandasaurus pre-printed, definitely one a lot of people are talking about. I need to get this one at the table. Everyone else at the Dice Tower, I think, has played it. So, cool.
Yeah, this is pre-order, but no idea right now when it comes out. But, of course, a lot of buzz, like you said, going to continue probably to make an impact on this list. Okay, so we'll move on to number 7. This is a repeat from last month, but it dropped quite a bit from last month.
All right, let me guess here. I'm looking at last month. Maybe Ready, Set, Bet?
That's right. Ready, Set, Bet. Number 7 out of the top 10 games from last month.
Ready, Set, Bet is also my top 10 games I played in July. Definitely.
Cool.
Yeah, just a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. But such an easy game to play. And the more, I think this is actually an evergreen as time goes by. We'll have to wait and see.
It seems to be, yeah. Yeah, just based on the feedback I've seen, it definitely sees something that seems like one that's going to be around for a while. Speaking of being around, we've got another repeat this month. We've been talking about...
What else would have lasted from last month? I think it depends. See,
I'm sorry. Well, so let me rephrase. It's not back from last month. It wasn't present last month. It was present the month before.
I don't got that kind of memory. So, Monopoly.
This is For Northwood at number 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
in May it was number 10, and here it is at number 6 for July.
Interesting.
Yeah.
More solo stuff, right? Isn't this one a solo too?
Yep, this is a solo one.
That's 2 solos in the top 10. Well, solo gaming is here to stay. For now.
All right. Halfway through is number 5, new to the list. I saw this one, like a big banner, a lot of people playing
give me the
this one at
publisher.
Gen Con. Board and Dice.
So this is a pre-order then?
It is now available.
Barcelona?
Yes, Barcelona.
But I think in July it was a pre-order. It might have been.
Yes, that's probably correct. But
Yeah, this one's getting... They've done the series of games. We call them the T games, Teotihuacan, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This one is the first one that looks like it's in that series, but it starts with a B. But this one is getting the most buzz from any game they've done in a while.
Maybe they're starting a B series. They can have Boston.
That would be funny if they did do that.
I can't think of any other Bs right now.
Yeah, I know. We ended at Boston. Beirut.
There you go. But yeah, building 19th century Barcelona, adding expansion to the city. So pretty Euro-y, I'm sure. There you go. Bayside High School.
I don't want to play that game. All right.
Okay, moving on to number 4, which was previously on the list last month. Fell a few places. Probably enough for you to guess. Maybe.
Ticket to Ride Legacy?
Yes. Ticket to Ride Legacy Legends of the West pre-order.
Oh, I was looking on my shoulder at some random game on the ground behind me.
Just random, no reason.
Oh, folks, I'm not allowed to talk about it. But be ready. Be ready.
Yeah.
This is going to sell really well when it comes out. It's really going to sell well. If nothing else, it's a game everyone knows, Ticket to Ride Legacy, but by the people are comfortable with doing Legacy games.
Yeah,
so
definitely. Yeah, with Matt Leacock and Rob Davio attached to a Legacy game, it's going to be a winner for sure.
We can hope.
Shows anything. You can hope, yes. Okay, so we're moving on to number 3. This is new to the list.
Okay,
and,
let's see. Give me some
I'm
clues.
Very curious how they're still continue to use this name as the series of this game, because I don't feel like it always applies to the location where this game is. We've been to Texas. We've been to South America.
Oh, it's Great Western Trail, isn't it?
Great Western Trail, New Zealand.
This is the 3rd in that series. I think this is the last.
Okay.
I think it's a 3-game series. They did Great Western Trail, then Argentina, now New Zealand. I think that's it. I'm curious. I'm curious how well this one will do. People who played the second one said, yeah, I like it. And some people liked it more, some people liked it less. I guess that's par for the course.
Have you played all 3?
I played only the first.
Okay, same here.
I'll get to the other ones eventually, which is probably a lie.
Yeah. I won't even pretend that I will. Okay, moving on to number 2. We have the next 2 are repeats, so you might be able to figure this out. Maybe we had a restock of this, or is that a note from last month? No, that's a note from last month. Ignore that. This was a very popular one at Gen Con, and new release last month.
Thunder Road?
Yes, Thunder Road Vendetta.
Man, I'll tell you what, this game is doing so well. Yeah, people were running for this one. They wanted the Maximum Chrome Edition.
Yep.
Which is, because you can get the Thunder Road at, I believe it's going to be sold, if it's not already being sold, at mass market stores. So people want the Maximum Chrome with all the deluxe extra goodies involved.
Yep. But yeah, this was a really good. We had.
Are you combining those two in the sales, or is it just Maximum Chrome, or is it
just the standard edition?
Just a standard edition. Wow.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see because even just the standard edition, because we just had Nerds Day, and which was super successful, biggest one ever. But Thunder Road Vendetta standard edition was an item that had a great deal and was sold out, within minutes. we had several hundred copies of that and just gone. So, yeah, really, really good amount of hype around that game. And then finally, last month, we had a game that was a pre-order. It is now available. It has been released. And it wouldn't be a top 10 without...
Well, actually, wait. I said, oh. Is it Unmatched?
Yep.
Unmatched moved to number 1? So this is the Spider-Man Unmatched.
Yep.
Which people love.
Said. If it's got Spider-Man in it, it's going to be popular. So, yeah, that jumped to number 1 because it's available and very popular characters. Spider-Man, Brains of Bond, so we got Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and She-Hulk. And like I said, I don't think we've had a month where an Unmatched set has not been on the top 10. Oh, and I want to answer a question. I've seen a couple comments occasionally about, like, why is Wingspan considered an expansion, but Unmatched is not? Well, I know that, like, when I go to Board Game Geek, the Unmatched sets are considered standalone games. They're not categorized as an expansion. And I believe that Wingspan Asia is categorized as an expansion that you can just happen to play as a standalone. So that's why I kind of categorize them that way.
Spencer's being nicer. My opinion is I don't really care. It's one or the other. You call them whatever it is, Unmatched, you go, you buy it, you play it. I would argue almost everyone in the world who has bought Wingspan Asia has bought it as an expansion of Wingspan.
Mm-hmm. It's very possible.
All right, thanks, Spencer, for coming on. Folks, you can check out all these games and more at GameNerdz.com. Like Spencer just said, they have the Nerds Day, which you have missed at this point in time, but they have deals every day, and you get some great games.
That's right.
Thanks so much, Spencer. Good to see you at Gen Con.
Great to see you as well. Hope to see you soon at another convention. I'm sure we'll be out there, out and about.
All righty, folks. Well, until next time, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Spencer Williams.
And that's the best-selling games of July 2023. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da.